All right, all right. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Drew Pearson Show. Hey, y'all, welcome to the Drew Pearson Show. We're back here at Henry's Tavern, the home of the Drew Pearson Show throughout this NFL football season. And we've had a great time here hanging out, supporting several different charities, supporting the Dallas Cowboys, and just having a great time here. Got a packed house. We're watching a lot of NFL football. Let's see, Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions. Looks like the Baltimore Ravens in a pretty good football game going on right now. A lot of people are here having drinks. They got some of the best food right here at Henry's Tavern as well, and it's also the home of the original 88 burger. Try one. You'll enjoy it. We've got a great lineup for you tonight. Our man Mark Colombo will be here, and we're going to break down that Cowboy game, that Cowboy debacle, that Cowboy meltdown, and try to come up with some solutions as to what happened in that game, and Mark and I will be discussing that. Also, we have a special guest, Jamie Kowalski from Cinemark Roofing and Flooring Solutions, and he's going to make a special donation to our 25 Days of Giving, which is still going on, and you can get on board with that as far as your donations, volunteerisms, and any way that you can help us in this fun 25 Days of Giving effort to support families during the holiday season to make sure they have a healthy meal throughout this holiday season. So Jamie Kowalski is with us tonight. He's going to make a donation presentation there. And we got a special guest, this young man, Tyler Sampson. He's from right here in the area. He goes to Griffin Middle School in Frisco. He's a member of the Griffin Gators football team. He's number 64. He plays linebacker and he plays offensive guard. And we sit down with him and have a little conversation. And it's pretty cool. You're not going to want to miss that. Hey, social media director, as always, Michael Nass is here, and he'll be taking your questions throughout the program via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, whatever all that social media stuff is out there. You can get your question in to Michael. Also, you can vote for the Drew Pearson Show Most Valuable Player. That's right. We're going to try to find, let me put it that way, a little shining light, a little glimmer of shining light out of that debacle, that loss last night by the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. So get your votes in, and we'll try to come up with the most valuable player there. So Michael Nass will be taking your questions throughout this show. And then our entertainment. Hey, Paul Salfin and Jen Reed, they've been out, and guess who they got an interview with? Yeah, the great Ben Stiller. And you're not going to want to miss this because he gives us his great Hail Mary moment, and it's going to be heart-wrenching, that's for sure, so you're not going to want to miss that. So we got a great lineup for you tonight. Mark, Jamie, Tyler, Michael, Paul, Jen, they're all here as part of the Drew Pearson Show, but we couldn't do this without our sponsors, so we want to thank Henry's Tavern. Give it up for Henry's Tavern. Woo! How about Albertsons, the official supermarket of the Dallas Cowboys, Albertsons Grocers, and we want to thank them also for their special help in helping us with this 25 Days of Giving. Also, Lombardo's Clothier, they're a big sponsor for us. Give it up for Lombardo's. Thank you. And Best Buy, we want to thank Best Buy for their support throughout the season as well. So they're all part of the Drew Pearson Show. We want you to be part of the Drew Pearson Show, but you can't do that until we get started, and we're about to kick this thing off right about now. Let's get rolling. Welcome back to the Drew Pearson Show. We're coming to you tonight again from Henry's Tavern. We've been gone for a while, but we're back. Glad to be here. We told you had a great show lined up. We're going to talk some Cowboy football. We got some entertainment, talk about some charities we're working with and all that things coming up with the holidays. 25 Days of Giving. I told you we'll talk about that as well. But now this segment we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, after that loss yesterday to the Green Bay Packers, there's a lot to talk about, unfortunately. It could have been a lot to talk about in the good vein, but Mark Colombo, who joins me now, unfortunately, Mark, there's a lot to talk about in the negative aspect. Your impressions of what transpired in that game and how it turned out.
Listen, it was obviously a tough game for the Cowboys. The second half was a complete disaster. They looked really good in the first half, ran the ball well. DeMarco Murray was all over the field. The offensive line was blocking. The defense was making plays. They finally got to the quarterback. They were doing the right things, playing fundamental football, and it all fell apart in the second half. They got away from the run, and we all saw how they blew a 23-point lead.
Yeah.
They were up by 23 points at halftime, and it's just unacceptable. That was a huge win. And Minnesota came through for the Cowboys,
Right.
and the Cowboys couldn't take advantage. It was tough, but at the end of the day, the Cowboys still, own their own fate. If they win 2 games, they get a home field
Right.
in the playoffs.
Can you believe that?
It's unbelievable, but that's the NFL, Drew, and
Right.
it's a roller coaster season. That was a big loss, though. The Cowboys had that game. I'm really disappointed in the way that one finished.
Yeah, of course, they have to win out, and if Philly wins next week against Chicago, it's all over. They clinch it. So we'll see what happens. But the main thing, the Cowboys have to take care of their business, and we'll go from there. But, yeah, the game was moving so great, and initially the home crowd, even though there was a lot of Green Bay Packer fans there. Were you there at the game? I was there at the game. And, I'm talking to a lot of people, and I hear the cheering. And I look on the field because I think something good happened for the Dallas Cowboys. It was something good happening for the Green Bay Packers. Did you notice all those Packer fans?
Yeah, and I know you have too. I've had a chance to play the Packers multiple times, and they travel really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was yellow and green everywhere, and they're really good fans. They're respectful fans, and they really do a good job supporting their team. Obviously home, but in away games they travel really well. And, it's kind of exciting to see that type of following as a player.
Yeah, you got to be excited thinking about following. You follow that offensive line and watch what they're doing now, how they're coming together, the continuity of it. It seemed like when Waters went down, Bernardo went in there, and we said, oh, no. It's going to be a negative for the Cowboy offensive line, but it's turned out to be a positive. Then you go on the left side with Leary and Smith. Man, those guys are doing a pretty good job, aren't they?
Yeah, Drew. I mean, the offensive line has played really well. Mackenzie Bernardo's come in and done an amazing job. Okay, Tyron Smith is having a Pro Bowl year. Ron Leary, he's had his struggles at times. But, I mean, for a guy who's playing in his first full season, I think he's holding his own.
He certainly is.
And Doug Free, let me tell you something about Doug Free. This guy answered all the questions about him and his play last year, and he's playing really good football. And then you have the center, Travis Frederick, who's having a really impressive rookie season. The Cowboys really made a good decision with Travis Frederick, and they played really well in the game.
Yeah, because you'll never hear his name, Travis Frederick, right?
Never hear his
That
name.
means
That's a
if you're
good
a
thing
lineman,
for an offensive
tell
lineman. I've
us.
been saying it. You do not want to hear your name, especially pre-snap.
We never heard your name, right?
I don't know. I mean, I had Flozell on the other side. He was a little bit better at jumping off sides than I was. Sorry, Flo.
Right on, right on. But that opened up the holes for DeMarco Murray, and he certainly ran through them, had a 134 yards. But
18
what's
carries.
remarkable, 7.4 yards per carry. Wow.
It's incredible. 7.4 yards a carry. I would run it every single play.
Amen.
And they got away from it in the second half. And I know the team, the coaches, everybody knows that was a mistake, and that's what ultimately cost the Cowboys this win.
Yeah, and then with Romo, he had a decent game going on.
Yep.
The first half he did pretty good. He was managing the game very well. But he seemed to be off with his passes throughout most of the game. Not just toward the end when he threw those final 2 interceptions, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yep.
But, his passes down the sideline to Dez were off. He connects on those. There's no question where we go with this game.
Yeah, Dez Bryant, there was a few misses. Dez Bryant got open. He got separation, as you would know, Drew. And, Drew. And there was just a few passes that just didn't quite connect. And And those are touchdowns. I mean, Des Bryant wins a one-on-one battle, and he ends up catching the ball and fluttering out of bounds. I mean, that's a big play, and you end up seeing what the Packers ended up doing. I mean, that touchdown ultimately would win the game, but he was a little bit off, and I don't know if it's so much his fault as they probably should have stuck with the run game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was working. Romo's not going to be perfect every single game, and this game he clearly wasn't at his best, and it cost the Cowboys.
Now, let's get into the controversial part of the game for the offensive side.
Yep.
When they were trying to move the ball, the Packers scored. We're trying to get back in the game. We just hit a first down, big play to Dez. We come back with a 2nd and 6.
Yep.
And they come out with a play. We know we need to run the ball. We need to eat up time, We need to gain yardage, get first downs, but we need to do that, eat up time in the process, right? So they come out with this play, and it's a running play.
Yep.
But it had an option. You know more about that because you're a lineman. What
Yep.
was the option on that play?
Now listen, it's a common play in the Cowboys' offense. It's called a smoke, and you rarely see a quarterback take it in his own hands and do that. It's a run play. It's called run. It is not a run and a pass check. Tony Romo saw a matchup that he thought he could win for a first down, which was Miles Austin on a quick slant, and he decided to throw the smoke. And Miles Austin was open. The problem is the offensive line and the running backs, they really didn't have any idea it was coming, and Clay Matthews ended up being too quick for that play and got in Romo's face a little bit too quick. And it resulted in a bad play for the Cowboys. Tony Romo took a chance. It didn't work. The Cowboys' offensive linemen were firing off the ball, so it was clearly a run play. It's one of those plays. You have to stick with the run. You have to stick with the game plan. And you could tell Jason Garrett was really upset in the press conference talking about that because in his mind that wasn't the play called. But at the end of the day, Tony Romo took a chance. And, I looked at the play numerous times. Miles Austin was open, but he's got to get rid of that ball quick and get it in his hands. Because you saw what happened, and Clay Matthews was just too quick.
Yeah, he blew up the play and almost looked like he knew it was coming. But then we get the ball back, okay? We're down 37-36, and we got the ball back. We're on our own 20, and we're trying to move the football into position to at least kick a field goal with our automatic kicker, Dan Bailey, right? Just get him into 58 yards out. He's probably good from there. But we tried 2 pass plays. And they were both to Cole Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
That's a head scratcher. You targeted Des Bryant 17 times throughout the football game.
Yep.
You get to this critical part of the football game, and you totally don't go in his direction. And you end up throwing that interception to Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Cole Beasley, he's still a young player, and you saw in that interception he cut his route short. He didn't finish through the play. I don't know if he was surprised the ball was coming to him, but you saw Tony Romo being very upset that Cole Beasley, he just needs to finish the play. I think he tried to find a soft spot in the coverage because there was 2 defensive backs covering. He tried to get in the middle. He's got to finish that route. I don't know if that was the best play call at the time, but at the end of the day, you have to do your job, and Tony Romo was expecting him to get out there and finish his route, make the play, and see what happens. But at the end of the day, you have to run the ball in that situation.
Yeah.
It's about time management, and the Cowboys didn't do a good job with that.
Yeah, they did. They had their problems on offense, and they're answering those. Try to answer those questions now and figure out what to do in those situations next time, so that they'll handle them a lot better. Defensively, we got 8 up there, but 34 points in the second half we gave up. Man, that's ridiculous. Quickly, talk me about DeMarcus Ware. Is this guy hurt? Why is his game falling off so far from what we expect from him?
I think DeMarcus Ware is battling through an injury, and he's a really tough leader. He's a leader of this franchise, and he's a guy, he's battling through it, and he's taking it upon himself to say, I'm fine. I think there's an issue there, and like we talked about earlier on this show, maybe you start to put him in situational football, maybe just pass rushing downs, so he can be effective in these games. Right now he's not effective, but he's capable of a lot more. But I do think he's fighting through something. And believe me, if anyone can get it fixed and turned around and get the Cowboys a couple wins and get to the quarterback, it's DeMarcus Ware, and I expect he'll do everything in his power for the Cowboys.
Well, we're going to need them, that's for sure. We need that pass rush to help our secondary back there for sure. Quickly, your impressions of Dez Bryant walking off the field at the end of the game.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. You know, in the NFL, his maturity's been questioned. To me, that's immature to walk away from your teammates. We talked about it before, and I love his passion. He's been able to find ways to
Yeah.
get open lately, but that passion cannot turn into that until he becomes mature and figures out how to handle himself in tough situations. It is going to be a long road for him because the expectations are set high, and they were set high by himself. He played really good the past few years, and you know he's got to become more mature. And I want to say he's going to learn over time, but he keeps making the same mistakes. I'm hoping he looks at that and really, you know, starts coming to his teammates' defense. It hurts for everyone to be in that situation. Stand by your teammates on the sideline and take it like a man.
Amen. You can't do that in that situation. You got to be professional, and you can't act immature in that situation. But I guarantee you, today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week, rest of the season, he wish he hadn't done that, and he won't do that again. Hey, good stuff, Mark Colombo. That's what you get right here at the Drew Pearson Show. We'll have more when we come back after this. All right, welcome back to the Drew Pearson Show. You see my special guest. Good-looking guy, huh? Not me, him, right? It's Tyler Sampson. He's from Griffin Middle School right in Frisco. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you're a football player at Griffin Middle School, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
What position you play?
Right guard and outside linebacker.
Oh, so you like to hit, like to mix it up in there, huh?
Yeah.
You can play some defense, help the Cowboys out?
Yeah.
So what's your number out there on the football field?
64.
Now, you get involved in a special Super Bowl contest, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you're one of the 10 finalists. Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, first of all, tell me how you got involved in that contest, and tell me what you had to do to become one of the 10 finalists.
Well, I had to film a video and submit it to the website Together We Make Football. And if the NFL liked my story, then I would make the top 10. And if I made the top 5, I'll have a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow. You got your coat ready?
Yeah.
You know the Super Bowl's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You don't care, huh? You
No.
just want to go, right?
Yeah.
You ever been to a Super Bowl? Did you go to the one that was here in Dallas area?
No.
No? This would be a great opportunity. When will you find out if you won or not and got that privilege to go to a Super Bowl?
I actually don't know.
You don't know? So you just have to wait it out, huh?
Yeah.
It's a little nervous time, huh?
Definitely.
So you watch the Cowboys? Do you like the Cowboys?
Yeah, but not when they lose.
I know, you and me both, buddy. I like them when they won. When they won, I had hair. And that's why I have no hair. They've been losing so much. So don't root for them that hard, okay?
Okay.
But what about Griffin Middle School? You guys are the Griffin Gators, and you're a guard and linebacker. Tell me about your season and what you guys have been doing.
Well,
It's all right.
well, we went to the playoff. Our A team did pretty well. Our B team, towards the beginning of the season, we did pretty well, but towards the end, we started falling off.
Oh, yeah? Didn't work out too good?
No.
Sounds like the Cowboys a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
So what was your record, do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
You won some, though, right?
Yeah.
Won more than you lost?
Probably not.
Hey, you're honest at least, right?
Yeah.
Right on, Tyler. So everything's going good, huh? You ready for a little Christmas holiday?
Definitely.
Yeah, we've been doing this 25 days of giving. You all about giving back on a Christmas holiday in a spirit like that?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here and being part of the Drew Pearson Show, okay? And we wish you good luck. And hopefully once you win this contest, you get a chance to come back on our show and you tell us about your experience up there in the MetLife Stadium for Super Bowl 48, okay?
Okay.
All right. That's Tyler Sampson, Griffin Middle School, Griffin Gators. He's number 64. He plays guard and middle linebacker. Give it up for him. Right on.
All right, welcome back to the Drew Pearson Show. On this week's entertainment segment, we have The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, a new film starring Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig, who I got to interview up in New York at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Now, Jen and I got a chance to see this movie, which opens on Christmas Day. What did you think? It's a great holiday movie, right?
I love it. It was kind of a movie that you kind of had to think about. You have to kind of put yourself in the place of each person. It was a character movie. You had to put yourself into the characters, for sure.
Wasn't straightforward at all. In fact,
all.
it wasn't a comedy, it wasn't a drama, it wasn't an adventure, it wasn't a fantasy, but it had all of those elements to it, which I got to ask him about because Ben not only starred in this film, he produced it and directed it. So he was wearing all kinds of hats in this film. And I got to talk to him a little bit about not only the way of the world with the film. As you can tell, it's a little bit different. We don't want to give away too much. And, of course, the great Hail Mary moment, which you're going to love. Let's check it out.
We have ahead of us the privilege of publishing the very last issue of Life magazine. And for the final issue, we just received -25 from Sean O'Connell for the cover.
It's 25.
It's not there.
I know.
Maybe it's still on it.
It had a son that mowed the lawn.
I'm Walter Mitty.
Walter. Okay. Oh, are you coming?
Yes, I'm not. Yes, I have to stay.
What is it you call it when he goes into one of his little places?
Oh, zoned out.
You do that now and then. What's the matter?
I lost a picture.
You should go. Crack the case.
Where do we land? We don't now.
Oh my god, that really happened? Real face. Sorry for bombing your face.
I love mysteries. There's parts you think can't connect, and then in the end they do. Life is about courage and going into the unknown.
How'd you get to Afghanistan?
Through Yemen?
Well, congratulations on this film. This is really, really fun to watch, and it's really hard to tell people what exactly it is. There's comedy, there's action, there's drama, there's fantasy. What is it to you?
To me, it's it is hard to sort of put it into one genre. It's a movie about a guy who's trying to connect with with himself. Is kind of, I guess he takes sort of a journey, but it's kind of an outward journey, but also an inward journey. And he's a daydreamer, so there's a lot of fantasies that he has. But it's really about trying to, I think, connect with his real self and be the best possible version of himself.
Yeah. And do you find yourself daydreaming a lot about, and if so, about what?
I don't daydream a lot. I will zone out. I will stop paying attention. If that counts as daydreaming, then I'm definitely I do that a lot. I'll think about what I'm working on. Like if I'm working on a movie, I'll spend a lot of time just thinking about it, and that ends up being sort of daydreaming, because you're visualizing and sort of putting yourself in the world of what it is and trying to think up ideas or think of ways to solve problems, and I'll just retreat into that all the time.
Yeah. Well, and you didn't have much time to do that probably on this because you're the lead actor and the producer and the director, so it's a lot.
That's true, but I mean, it is, but it's also the creative process is doing that. So really, when we were prepping the movie, a lot of it was trying to come up with ideas and, what's the best way to tell this story and what's the best fantasy here and how can we, fix this problem in terms of, that. And then acting, is like Walter is daydreaming a lot, so I actually did spend a lot of time thinking about other things being Walter, because a lot of times he isn't present.
Yeah, and I think I think every movie probably sticks out for you at some point, but what do you think is the one thing that'll stick out to you about this? A day, a scene, a moment that you'll always remember?
Well, I have a lot of memories making this movie just because the experience was so fun and challenging, and going to Iceland where we shot a lot of the movie. I remember shooting there, and we got stopped by a windstorm. A windstorm shut us down for 2 days and blew over all of our campers, and never was in an experience like that where literally you could jump up into the air and like it would just lift you up. And I just remember feeling like, wow, this is just an experience I'd never have. Jumping in the ocean, being in the North Sea, when the trawler was going by, and getting those shots was sort of a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It was like your own travel show.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was fun.
Yeah. Now, the show's the Drew Pearson Show, and Drew famously caught the Hail Mary pass. And I think everyone has a Hail Mary moment in their life where they just kind of had to go for it, and it worked out for them.
Yeah.
What do you suppose that is for you?
Gosh. I think I had to try to get a job when I was first starting out, and I'd been auditioning. I wasn't getting any work, and I made a short film that was a takeoff on The Color of Money. The movie was The Color of Money with Tom Cruise, and Martin Scorsese directed it. And so I made this little takeoff on it, and I brought it over to Saturday Night Live and asked somebody to bring it up on the elevator to the offices to show it to somebody up there, and ended up getting it on the show. Wow. So yeah, that was definitely a Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I know that you made so many blockbusters and so many things that people have really, really connected to, but I feel like this is probably a little bit more gratifying to you, right?
Yeah, anything that, for me, that I'm working on where, you're connecting with it on a very personal level, it feels like, especially directing. I mean, any movie I've worked on as a director, it's just a different connection with it. And this one, I guess just where I'm at in my life, and the issues that Walter's dealing with, I felt I could relate to a lot.
Yeah. Well, last thing, that you've done a lot of philanthropic work, which is fantastic, and it's got to be a wonderful feeling to be able to do something, given who you are, to be able to give back like that.
Yeah, I think it's important to sort of take stock of what we have, and by connecting with people who don't have as much and trying to do something in some way to help alleviate the problems that are going on in the world is anything that anybody could do on any level, it makes a difference. So I encourage that.
Good. Thank you so much for being on with us. Appreciate it.
Nice talking to you.
No, Walter! I'm at the other boat! The little boat!
Coming for you! You have at least a minute before you freeze! What? You are safe! There's something here! There's a fin here, I think! We are traveling through a porpoise school! Don't fear the porpoise! I don't think it's a porpoise! I'm telling you, it's a porpoise! Be friendly! It will protect you from the sharks! Okay! Come here! Hey! Hey! Okay! That's a shark! That's what I said! Jesus! Stop defending it! Kill it! It's not a porpoise! It's not a porpoise! Poke his eyes out! Fight it!
All right. This is a special segment of the Drew Pearson Show we're doing. We've been doing the 25 days of giving, trying to help 88 different families through December 1st through December 25th in an effort to feed them through the holidays. There's a lot of hunger problems going on in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and Drew Pearson Show has been trying to do its part to give some relief to a lot of families during the holiday season. And in that effort, we've been getting a lot of support from a lot of people. This has got to be a teamwork effort, and a lot of people have been stepping up with donations. With me is Jamie Kowalski with Cinemark, and they're innovative roofing and flooring solution company, and they're based out of Pennsylvania. And Jamie, I understand you have a special donation for us tonight.
Drew, we do. We think what you're doing is great for the community. And our boss is in Pennsylvania, and somehow he's a Cowboys fan. And,
right on, boss.
Once he heard your name, he had no problem signing this check. So we'd like to give this check of $500 to you and help some families out.
All right, right on. $500 donation to the 25 Days of Giving to help the families and support of trying to feed 88 families through the 25th of December, which is Christmas Day. Tell us a little bit about Cinemark and what you guys are doing.
Cinemark is the largest commercial industrial roofing company in the country. We have 65 offices nationwide and 4 in Canada. Pretty proud of ourselves and happy we can do things like this.
You guys do a lot of giving through all your offices, 65 offices throughout the country, and each one of them are involved in charitable giving.
We are Mr. Dunlap, Ed Dunlap, who owns the company, allows $500 to each office to help a charity throughout the year.
Right on. And that's $500 to 25 Days of Giving, our charity, and we appreciate the support.
No, thank
Jamie
you.
Kowalski with Cinemark. Hey, what's that owner's name?
Ed Dunlap.
Ed Dunlap. Thank you, man. God bless you. Happy holidays, y'all. All right. As the Drew Pearson Show continues to wind down, we come to our social media segment. Social media director Michael Nass, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Drew. Good to see you.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
Right on. So you've been taking questions, Facebook, Twitter. What else?
YouTube, Google Plus. And you can imagine that it's on fire.
It's lit
right
up.
now. Yeah.
It's lit up. I bet everybody's got an opinion about that game from yesterday. And you've been taking a lot of questions. You've been sifting through them, coming up with some of the best to present to me. So let's get started. What do you got for me, Michael Nass?
Well, yes, and we also took the votes for the Drew Pearson Show.
That's right.
Most valuable player.
God, you found the most valuable player out of that debacle?
And believe it or not,
you fans are amazing. You found an MVP out of that. A shining light. Oh, my.
And believe it or not, there is a ton of support on Twitter for Dez walking off the field early.
Is that right? Well,
they say they completely understand.
I don't understand it. Stay there, take the medicine, baby. Be a pro. Hey, what do you got?
Well, Dez happened to win by 1 vote over DeMarco Murray for this week's Drew Pearson MVP. So
Dez MVP. Yeah, he should. Yeah, what he had 11 catches, 100-some yards.
153 yards.
153 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown.
I believe 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he's got 11 touchdowns this season. Yeah. I don't know why we didn't go to him at the end of the game on those final 2 plays, but
I think that's what he's upset about.
Yeah. Give me some. Right on, Dez. I feel you, bro. But anyway, he's our MVP over DeMarco Murray. That's saying a lot because he averaged over 7 yards a carry. So way to go, Dez. Keep the 88s churning, man. Don't worry about what the people say.
All right. Our questions from Twitter. I'll start with Mama Africa on Twitter says, when will good money stop being paid to worthless players like Romo, Skandrick, and coaches? When will hey, we know we're getting this. When will we get a real GM?
We'll never get a real GM. Hey, Jerry ain't going nowhere, man. If he does, his son's going to be the next GM. So it's all in the family there. But, I don't know what Jerry's thinking when he's giving this money out. Why would you give Skandrick a contract extension, The guy dropped an interception in a big game in the end zone up there in Chicago where we really needed a big play, and then you call him in, and 2 days later and give him more money.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but that's Jerry, and sooner or later all this is going to catch up to him because he's extending all these guys, Romo, Ware, Sean Lee, Skandrick, and sooner or later this money is going to run out and it's going to catch up to these guys, and these guys are going to be gone, and the Cowboys will still be paying for it.
Yes.
So what was that, Mama Africa?
Yeah, Mama Africa.
All right, Mama. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yes. Pearly Gates says ESPN Stephen Smith claims he'll wear a Cowboy jersey on the air if the Cowboys win out. Do you think that will happen?
Who's going to wear that?
Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. Maybe we can get him to wear your jersey.
I hope it plays out. I'd love to see Stephen A. What I'd like to see with Stephen A. is maybe put something for about 30 seconds. That's probably all he could handle, right?
Well, what we can do
is
is
like holding your breath, right?
Yeah.
Keep him from talking for 30 seconds. But he's a good guy, and he's definitely, he's not a Cowboy fan, I wouldn't say, but I think he respects what the Cowboys have done, what the organization's all about, and it keeps him busy because it gives him plenty to talk about.
Well, do you think that he'll have to wear the jersey? You think the Cowboys are going to win out?
No.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about launching a social media campaign to get him to wear a Drew Pearson jersey when the Cowboys
Now
win
let's
it.
start that campaign anyway, just in case. Just in
You never know.
Never know.
And final question comes from Philippi Valentin. In his opinion, there was no MVP for the game. Number one, because they lost. Number two, they didn't show up, coaches included. Drew, please tell us about the coaching's football IQ.
We have none. You know, go back to Princeton for another semester. Maybe you'll get some IQ. But, you know, when you're playing a game, you're an athlete, you're a coach, you just got to roll with the feel of the game. All these things about timeouts, running the football, passing the football, making all these in-game type decisions, to me, all that stuff should come natural. You know, you should have enough experience, enough in-case game situations where you know how to respond in certain situations where you're put in during the game. And I just don't know why it's so hard for Garrett and that coaching staff to grasp what's going on throughout the game, and then when it gets to crunch time, make the proper decision. But it is a problem with the Cowboys. I don't know if Garrett can live this down. He's responsible, whether whoever made the mistake, the play calling, the execution of the play, whatever. He's responsible for all that, so it all falls on him.
So it's 66-1 now in Vegas. Is the Cowboys a sucker bet winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, wow, 66 to
1.
Oh, my God, that is embarrassing for Cowboy Nation, isn't it?
At least they're still eligible, I guess.
I guess we're still in it, hey. We're still in it. Here's the deal. If Philadelphia beats Chicago Sunday, it's all over, no matter what. So we got to hope Philly loses to Chicago.
Actually, we control our own destiny.
Keep our stuff going. Yeah, we don't need that, man.
Yeah.
We don't need to control our own destiny.
Yeah,
all right, anyway, any more stuff? You got
that's
good?
it. That's it. We appreciate all the questions on Twitter this week. And just remember, follow the Drew Pearson Show, Twitter, Facebook, Google+.
And our Drew Pearson Show MVP, even though in the wake of a Cowboy loss, is the current number 88, Dez Bryant. Congratulations. Hey, that's about it for the Drew Pearson Show. We'd like to thank you all for coming out and hanging with us right here at Henry's Tavern. We've had a great time tonight, great show, great guests. Hey, we'll be right back here next week, hopefully after a Cowboy victory. We'll see you all then.
Remember to vote for Tyler.
Who? Tyler, yeah, Tyler Sampson.
Let's get him to the Super Bowl.